The air in the Harare police station was thick with the scent of old paper and floor polish. Tafadzwa stood before the high wooden counter, twisting the hem of his faded blue t-shirt. Across from him, Sergeant Moyo regarded him with an expression of profound boredom. The sergeant, a man whose grey uniform seemed as weary as his face, had seen it all. "I need to report a theft," Tafadzwa began, his voice barely a whisper. Moyo sighed, the sound a small puff of dust in the quiet room. He pulled a fresh report form towards him without enthusiasm. "Name?" the officer grunted. "Tafadzwa," he replied, feeling a tiny, foolish flicker of hope. The process had begun. He was a citizen seeking justice. He watched the sergeant's pen hover over the paper. "And what?" Moyo asked, his eyes still fixed on the form. "Was the item that was stolen?" Tafadzwa swallowed, the sound loud in the stillness. "My Mbanj," he said, the word coming out softer than intended. Sergeant Moyo's pen froze mid-air. He slowly lifted his head, his tired eyes blinking as if to clear a strange vision. A slow smile spread across his face, a crack in his weary facade. "Mbanj?" he repeated, the word now laced with incredulous amusement. "You are standing in a police station, reporting the theft of your marijuana." He leaned back in his creaking chair, the wood groaning in protest. Tafadzwa's hope vanished, replaced by a cold knot of dread in his stomach. The absurdity of his own actions crashed down on him, but the burning sense of injustice remained. "Yes, Sergeant," he said, his voice finding a new firmness. "It was my property. It was taken from my house. It was a crime of theft." Sergeant Moyo let out a short, dry chuckle. He slid the blank form to the side. "I cannot file this," he said, the amusement now gone from his voice. "Possession is the crime. How can I write a report where the victim is admitting to a crime?" Tafadzwa leaned forward, placing his hands flat on the counter to steady himself. "But that is my point, Sergeant. I am not in possession. The thief is. I am here to report the theft, which is a separate crime. The person who now has my Mbanj is the one breaking the possession law. I am simply a victim." Moyo stared at him, his brow furrowed. The man's circular logic was both infuriating and strangely compelling. It was a bureaucratic riddle wrapped in a criminal complaint, a situation for which his training had certainly not prepared him. The only sound in the room was a fly buzzing lazily near the ceiling fan. Sergeant Moyo picked up his pen and tapped it rhythmically on the desk. "So, you expect the police to hunt for your stolen illegal goods?" he asked, his voice flat. "And when we find the thief, we arrest him for stealing your Mbanj. And then what? We give it back to you?" Tafadzwa's resolve began to crumble. "No, Sergeant. I want the crime of theft to be acknowledged. It is the principle of it." Moyo gave a final, weary shake of his head. "There is no principle here, my friend. Go home. Forget about your property." He slid the report form into a drawer, the sound of closing wood echoing with finality. Tafadzwa stood there, defeated not by law, but by its complete and utter indifference.